like to welcome Jeremy Bauer, who is Chief Executive of Reach Resources, to the stage. Jeremy's going to talk to you about the Morrissey Hill Lithium Project in Western Australia. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thanks very much, everyone. Right, thanks very much for the opportunity. Thanks to the organisers for giving us the ability to introduce Reach Resources Limited. I will predominantly be talking about our Morrissey Hill Lithium project. However, I will go into a couple of other projects we have at the moment, as there's a couple more strings to the bow of the company. So before I kick off, I just wanted to give you a bit of an understanding about how about our insight and our drive for our company. We're believers in decarbonisation and the electrification that's going on in the globe. So that gives us it gives us a good feeling, I suppose, to be part of the solution and really to drive us search and exploration activities for critical minerals such as lithium and the other ones we have in our portfolio. You know, the obligatory statement here. We have a really experienced exploration manager, Steve Valance, who's been right through this project and presentation. Just a quick snapshot of who we are corporately. We've got an experienced board, legal, financial and mining experience on the board. We're still a relatively small market cap in comparison to our nearby neighbours. We've recently gone through a capital raise, so we're well funded and have no debt currently. Carrying on from what I said at the start in terms of our drive and understanding of electrification, the process going on globally, it's common for us and part of our ongoing business that we respect the area in which we operate in terms of the traditional owners, the environment and the station folks who we coexist with. So we're just going through our initial baseline ESG reporting and we'll continue that process. So I'm going to go through why an investment in Reach Resources Limited is a wise one. Firstly, we're in Western Australia. We're proudly focused on the northwest of Western Australia, the Tier 1 mining jurisdiction and known very well from funding circles and obviously on a mining exploration front. We've got two key project areas in the Gascoyne. The first one based on Yinnetharra Station. Some of you may know of Yinnetharra via the Delta Lithium project. The other project areas at Wanna Station. They are big stations in the northwest, but that map isn't quite to scale. The third project we have in which Reach Resources was formed, we took over a small gold mining company. That company has and now Reach have a small inferred gold resource, quite high grade. That's a project we continue to do some further work on, but we're firmly focused on the Gascoyne at this point. I like having a gold hedge though, and as I said, we will continue to work on that. So Reach has been able to develop a portfolio of critical minerals, Wanna Station projects, manganese and rare earths, and our Yinnetharra projects, lithium and a rare earth / niobium project, all at early stage, but certainly we're in the right neighbourhood with other companies nearby with much greater market caps, and so we believe we're certainly leveraged to exploration success. I'll just quickly go through the other couple of projects that we have on our books. Firstly, Camel Hill. That's the one in the larger tenement holding to the southeast of Morrissey Hill. So this has got the same geology as our core project in Morrissey Hill. Outcropping pegmatites, highly fractionated, in the same geological setting, have a fertile granite in contact with metamorphic sediments, which is where we've got some really good surface results at Morrissey Hill. We've undertaken quite a regionally wide spaced soil survey or soil sampling program across Camel Hill, which, as most people are aware, for lithium mineralisation, assessing it via soils is a really successful tool. So those results are due out in the next couple of weeks. Further to the south, you see the Wobbly Creek project. That one's slightly different. Historically, we had some high grade, these areas and all around Yinnathara were prospected for tin and tantalum back in the day, for micas, which are often associated with lithium bearing pegmatites. This Wobbly Creek project, they had high grade tantalum, but they also had high grade niobium. Early, and small amounts were mined, a tonne or so of a mineral called samscarite, which is a high grade niobium mineral. So we followed up with some rock chip work at Wobbly Creek and have come back with values up to 14.3% niobium. And a number of the heavy rare earths associated with that. Bearing in mind these are rock chip samples, so it's not indicative of the whole body, of which we're yet to do any drilling on. So that's subject to the same soil sampling program, and we expect results in the next couple of weeks. So moving 80 kilometres to the north is the Wanna Station projects. You'll recognise the Hastings technology mine here. So our first project, the Skyline, approximately the bottom southwest portion of that we've uncovered some ironstones and carbonatite type material that is similar to where Dreadnought and Hastings are getting their hits and now their resources. But as you move further to the northeast and into this White Castles project, it's into the Edmonds Sediment Basin, and that has approximately 50 kilometres of outcropping manganiferous ore, of which we've just done a tenement package wide rock chip sampling program, and we have results due imminently on that. Manganese is one of the other commodities that we wanted to diversify in. We see a strong market with a base load obviously in the steel industry, and then only increasing demand from the battery side of things. So to Morrissey Hill project, there's that old adage in real estate, location, 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 and Morrissey Hill certainly fits that bill on a couple of fronts. Geologically, we are approximately 8 kilometres west of Delta's Melinda deposit or prospect along strike. We've got high-grade surface mineralisation, up to 2.3% lithium oxide, outcropping pegmatites across the whole project area, and we've just completed our maiden drill program, or phase 1 of our maiden drill program at Morrissey Hill. The other part of the location is we're clearly in an area which has got heavy corporate involvement. Both Delta and Minerals 260 surround us and have taken up big positions. So that's potentially of interest down the track for us. So this figure was recently put out to the ASX. The drill program that we've just completed up there gave us extended period on site, and that was enlightening in that initially when we assessed this project, we believed that the metamorphics that are host to these pegmatites that are seen at the Delta ground and where they've had success were mainly confined to the upper portion of this tenement. But as we've spent time on site, the geological team has been able to map these other areas that you see there in these bubbles. So, and importantly, these pegmatites that are outcropping, they're coarsely crystalline, but they're also hosted in the geology that we feel is giving us the most prospective looks when we're assessing our core that's come from the phase 1 drilling program. So you'll see here, this is the extent of the drilling we've done. It's an extensive outcropping pegmatite system through this area, the Bonza prospect, and then clearly we've got a lot further work we can do. There's approximately 10 kilometres worth of strike on the project, and we are anxiously awaiting our drill results, which are due, or assays due mid-October. Another point that my geologist or exploration manager was keen to point out is that during this phase 1 drill program, we do have a lot of outcropping pegmatites, but what we've encountered downhole, so we did encounter a number of thick 30-metre wide sections downhole, and at least one of those sections wasn't daylighting. So we believe that's a blind pegmatite, and based on what we've seen at our neighbours at Deltas, they've also encountered blind pegmatites. So from a potential scale or resource perspective, that gives us potential upside, assuming mineralisation. Just got a few photos of these so you can see what it's like visually. This is the coarse pegmatites intruding up through what the mafic volcanics or what people would term greenstones. Again, same sort of thing. They generally tend to trend east-west. And that's Steve, our geologist, busy at work. Very coarsely crystalline and hundreds of metres these. So, and not to say that they're all mineralised, but it's certainly encouraging in terms of the geological setting in which we find these. So I know I'm over time, but we've just finished the phase 1 drill program and the soil sampling efforts across Morrissey Hill, that is. We've done a couple of Aboriginal heritage surveys. We're working with the Ingada people, and we'll be going out for more to clear those new pegmatite areas we found. Waiting for drill assays, as I said, in October, and then we plan to get back out pending rig availability in mid to late October. That's for Morrissey Hill and our key focus. Up at Wanna, we're awaiting some manganese results, as I mentioned, and then we'll work with the traditional owners of that area to create a program that we can get involved with in 2024. That's about it from me. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jeremy. I was going to ask, my question was going to be about the upcoming programs and expectations, but maybe in terms of you've outlined what the work you're doing, what are the expectations and where do you expect to see your priorities, maybe kind of looking 12 months out from here, if you want to get your crystal ball out?
Well, crystal ball gazing, we would have completed a couple of drill programs at Morrissey Hill, and hopefully by that stage we've identified mineralisation to a certain level. And if that's the case, we would be continuing to drill that prospect. We do have a lot of confidence in the manganese project based on what we've seen thus far. We did put an ASX release out this morning actually on the manganese, so there's a lot of outcropping, what looks like really good material there. So we would hope that with the support of the traditional owners there that we get involved and get on the ground up that way. But there's a lot of interest in this niobium and heavy rare earths at Wobbly Creek. So we've got sort of 3 zones that we're working on.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy. Cheers.
No worries.
Thank you.